We are in the oldest city in America that's been continuously occupied.
Kicked off 2026 in the Florida Keys with one goal in mind: to travel to all 50 states by Class B van by the end of the year. And right now, we're checking off state number 11. If you're new here, we're Bob and Hillary, and we're currently on what we're calling the Lemon Route. Traveling the country, staying in free and unexpected places, and figuring out van life as we go. So now that we're here, it's time to grab our camera and go figure out what makes St. Augustine so special.
So the first thing that we have found is that parking in downtown St. Augustine is quite challenging. So I just spent like, I don't know, 15 minutes driving around this little tiny parking lot trying to find a place to park. I eventually did. You had to be very patient. Hold on. How do I add?
How much time do you want to add?
I was gonna put like 3 hours on here. So we're good until 3:09.
I mean, look at this guy. He's waiting. It's no joke. Bob drove around this parking lot for at least 15 minutes waiting for someone to leave.
And, oh, I didn't even lock it. Most places here in St. Augustine, you gotta pay to park. So if you're coming down here, just plan on paying to park.
Yeah. Especially if you're in an RV.
For sure. You got the fort right here, the harbor right here.
Yeah, and it got good ratings.
Good ratings for sure.
So
I think you would like the shepherd's pie.
I do too.
I kind of feel like I need to do some fish and chips.
I think you should do a Guinness and fish and chips.
Love it. I'm stoked. This is gonna be good. I love Guinness, I love fish and chips, and I love a great view. What's crazy is this morning, actually even last night, it was pretty warm last night.
Yeah, it was. It was like in the 60s.
It was in the 60s.
And we didn't plug in or anything.
No, which was fine. But ever since this morning, the temperature's been dropping. So it's getting colder and colder and colder. And tonight's actually forecasted to be pretty cold.
I got the food in right now for you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Sorry to interrupt, but the best drink in the world. Ah, so good.
I went with shepherd's pie.
I went with the fish and chips.
It looks so amazing. Let's dig in. Okay, 10 out of 10.
So good.
I would recommend this place. The beer was good.
I'm just glad they had it in stock, unlike the Irish pub in Gatlinburg.
You just can't forgive them for that.
How can you be in an Irish pub without Guinness? That's just not acceptable. This is the old historic street of St. George.
That one says, welcome to St. George Row.
They basically converted the road to a walkway?
St. Augustine is the oldest continuously occupied European founded city in the United States. It was founded in 1565, which means this place was here for more than 40 years before Jamestown. What I thought was wild is this city has changed hands so many times. Spain, Britain, back to Spain, and then eventually to the United States. McCrory's 5 and Dime store. This location, considered the original 10-cent store, was the premier site of the local civil rights movement, beginning after the vain attempt 1960 to acquire lunch, counter service by the Henry Hank Thomas, hence called a local civil rights pioneer and one of the freedom riders. This thing just keeps going and going, Bob.
There is a lot to do right here. Holy smokes. Someone's gonna be like, why did you go here? It's like, because there's 46 things to do here.
The oldest public space in America, the plaza, was laid out by Spanish royal ordinances in 1573. Its Constitution Monument may be the only remaining monument in the Western Hemisphere celebrating the Spanish Constitution of 1812. The first Spanish Constitution issued a royal decree for all Spanish towns throughout the empire to build monuments and rename their main plazas La Plaza de la Constitución in commemoration of the new constitutional government in Spain.
The more you know.
Okay, that's the Cathedral of St Augustine, the Governor's House, Culture Center, and Museum. Wow, a rare native shell stone formed over a long period of geological time and quarried since 1671 on nearby Anastasia Island. So that's what this is made out of. Look at the shells, like literal shells. Okay, so this Lions Bridge we're about to go to is nearly 100 years old. It's still open for it still opens for boats, and those lions are a throwback to the city's Spanish roots. Opened in 1927, it's a drawbridge that still opens for boats today, practical and iconic at the same time, named for Spanish heritage. It's the gateway to the old city. Since the 1920s, this bridge has been the main connection between historic downtown St. Augustine and Anastasia Island, so almost everyone coming or going crosses here. What are they doing over there?
They're working on the pier, kind of upgrading it or modifying it in some way.
The body of water in front of you is the Atlantic Intercoastal Waterway. It's the Marine I-95. Wow, it is marked continuous navigation channel that begins in Virginia and ends in Key West. Wow. Okay, so we're at the Bridge of Lions, and there's protective construction wrapping around them. Big metal frames and wooden barriers that are temporary protection while crews do maintenance and preservation work on the bridge.
And you can see there's a couple of like heavy cracks in this one right here. And one that runs this way and one that runs that way.
I'm assuming we can walk this way and the bridge won't open on us. It's worth climbing to the top.
You can see there's a couple of different bridges. There's one to the south, one to the north. I don't know what they are.
This was built almost 100 years ago, and now we're just standing on it.
All right, real talk for a second. If you've been watching us for any amount of time, you know we're on the road a lot. Long driving days, tight parking spots, night driving, all the fun stuff that comes with driving an RV. And because of that, we don't mess around when it comes to visibility and safety in our van. So when Wolfbox reached out to see if we were interested in upgrading to the G900 Pro, it was an easy yes. So a couple cool features that this unit has is it has voice commands. So if you want to know what they are, you can press this little icon and this screen pops up. But let's say, you know, you're just driving along and you don't have it up, you can simply say, take picture. And now I have a saved image. So over here, I set mine so that it runs a 2-minute loop for video. So it'll just loop over itself every 2 minutes. And it tells you what quality you're shooting in. It also gives you your some GPS information. So which direction are you facing and how fast are you going? Time, date, and the day over on the other side. And you can see the front camera, which, oh, that's what we're actually looking at right here. Front camera records in 4K, and then the rear camera records in 2.5K. So this front camera uses an IMX678 8-megapixel sensor. So basically what that means is that this unit handles low light really well. You can clearly see license plates and anything that's happening behind you. So during the day, you get clean, sharp images from both the front and rear cameras. So then when I open the app, it'll automatically connect to it. And so then I can just tap the screen. But what's really nice about this is if I need to transfer some footage very quickly, I can make a copy of it directly onto my phone. I can see here's all the driving and loops and everything that we have all stored on it. I've got access to it all the time right from my phone. I just have to turn the Wi-Fi on and connect to it. So this is a 12-inch screen and gives you a much wider field of view than a standard screen. So if you're driving a van like us, or maybe an RV or a daily driver, check out the Wolfbox G900 Pro. Huge shout out to Wolfbox for sponsoring today's video and supporting our channel. And click the link in our description to learn more. Now back to the video.
It's not a national park to where we can like mark it off, right? What the heck?
I forgot that they do that on the weekends and once during the day.
What do they do?
Fire the cannon.
That was not a cannon fire.
Yep.
Let's go.
Bob thought he got shot. But in today's day and age, like, that can be scary.
Let's go inside the fort. Yeah, do you have to pay to go in? I don't know. We have America the Beautiful, so it don't matter.
Oh, perfect. All right, let's go explore the oldest masonry fort.
I'm finding it highly valuable having the America the Beautiful pass.
It comes in clutch. And it is windy, so we apologize in advance for any wind noise you're gonna hear. Today's the nicest day of the week here, if you could believe that. Tomorrow's high is gonna be in the 40s. Today's is in the 60s, so that's why we chose today to do all this stuff and fit it all in one day, because we knew cold weather's on its way to Florida. Okay, who would have guessed?
Remember right, I believe this stone absorbs the cannon fire rather than like shattering. It's one of the reasons it made the fort so strong.
Wow, the most valuable part of the fort is its entrance in front of you. To protect it, the Spanish designed an elaborate set of defenses, a heavy grated gate called the portcullis, 2 drawbridges, and the ravelin. The larger drawbridge took 3 soldiers 15 minutes to close and remained open except in times of danger. Soldiers closed the outer drawbridge at night when most of them returned to their homes in the town.
So you would come across this drawbridge here. That's the one that they would open and close nightly.
Okay.
And then that's the main one that they would close in times of danger. So this is the revelry, basically watchtower. So you could come up here, see who's coming up. You can protect the fort, but you're protecting the fort outside of the fort. Pretty cool. Oh, and it says that this was never fully completed.
Really?
Yep, that's what the notes are right here on the map.
Okay. This wall contains examples of graffiti left by former soldiers, all of them 200 or more years old. Some of the letters are written backwards. Soldiers of the 18th century were usually illiterate. Perhaps whoever wrote these letters was just learning to read and write. Oh, you can't go in?
Smells like dirt. Oh no, it's locked.
It does smell like dirt. Oh my gosh, this is the prison. It's so hard to see.
This is pretty impressive.
Doesn't it feel huge?
This is one of the best well-maintained forts that we've been in. Oh, wow. Yeah, it goes all the way, this fort goes all the way back to 1672. And you can see all the different countries that have had ownership. All of your trade winds, the way that they work across the Atlantic, they would come in from the south, go up through here, and then back to Spain. And so St. Augustine was a way to protect this coastline to get back to Spain. That's why it's so important.
Spanish coat of arms, 1600s.
I'm assuming this is that original door that we saw when we came through. Like, to give you an idea.
That's how thick the door is. Sally Port door. Shortly after the United States Army received the Castillo de San Marcos from Spain in 1821, the Americans built and installed these wooden doors at the entrance of the Sally Port. Wow. They controlled the entrance to the interior of the fort for nearly 150 years.
It's interesting how you can move through all of the different rooms from inside. Every Spanish bronze cannon and mortar has its own story. Each was individually cast.
Wow. Name of the cannon, the one from Milan.
So I'm assuming that's an original. Remember how we were saying a lot of them were replicas,
Yeah.
but that looks like an original.
This cannon weighs 44 quintals, 100 weights, and 81 1/4 old Castilian pounds, or 4,545 modern pounds.
The power room? Oh, powder room, yeah. You coming in?
Take them with you. I have to crawl.
Come here, guys.
Wow, so they would have had to do this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, my knees. I'm too old for this. Oh, we're too old.
Like, it's literally
Look at.
just a room. You can stand up in it.
You could stand up.
I mean, it's probably 7.5 feet tall.
Yeah. This is scary.
2.5 meters.
I'm getting out. Okay. Oh gosh, that was not worth it. Oh gosh. Okay, so this is the powder room. You enter the former powder magazine through the doorway. Built in 1675. It's one of the oldest rooms in the fort.
Almost ready to go up top.
This is a restroom. Twice daily natural flushing system. Incoming tides filled the pit with seawater and outgoing tides flushed the waste into the bay. Wow.
Very cool.
So this was it. So you would just go in here and do your business, right?
Well, I'm assuming, yeah, it's probably all filled in,
Yeah.
because I read somewhere that they filled in the moat on that side. Look, that entrance is just beautiful with those doors. But that's where the chapel was.
After days of watching the British prepare, burst of smoke signals their attack from Anastasia Island. The sentry in the San Carlos watchtower in front of you yells and rings the bell. His quick action alerts the garrison that the British are firing at the Castillo. Soldiers surge to their post or run for cover. This marked the beginning of a 38-day siege in 1740. In the end, cannon fire partially damaged the eastern outer wall, and the bombardment killed 2 townspeople.
That's definitely seen better days.
Think it's real?
It got a little corrosion on it. I mean, I would assume so. That's pretty. Looks like it's out of bronze.
This has so much on it.
Wow. It looks like it's made of bronze.
Deadly crossfire. Exploding shells?
Yeah, cannons shoot flat, howitzers arc, and mortars are like a up and in. Basically, the British burned down the town, and then all of the Spaniards kind of hid inside the fort, but there's no living quarters, so basically they were just scattered everywhere.
During the nearly 2-month-long siege in 1702.
But they left St. Augustine in ashes.
Spanish naval ships began to fly this flag in the early 1500s in honor of their king. Eventually, the army also began to fly this flag, and it came to represent Spain. All right, we're in the van. We have like 10 minutes left on our...
This parking lot's crazy, and I feel some pressure to get out of the way.
Yeah, because people are waiting for our
we
spot.
waited for so long too, so I want to be respectful of that. That was actually pretty impressive. I was surprised at like how much was there and how well preserved it was. Definitely nice to have some big parking spots to get out of here.
That guy was so happy. I went and told him that he can have the spot, and he backed up and was so happy. On to, we think, a lighthouse.
I was pretty impressed. I was surprised at how well the fort was like preserved, and all the displays and everything that they had were very informative. That was really cool. Definitely worth doing.
We're going to the St. Augustine Lighthouse. It was completed in 1874. But it's actually the third lighthouse built on this site.
Let me guess, they've all been destroyed by hurricanes.
Erosion and age. It stands 165 feet tall, and you have to climb 219 steps to reach the top. Original lighthouse built by the Spanish in the 1500s, making this one of the oldest lighthouse locations in the U.S.
There's kind of a theme here with St. Augustine and everything being old.
And the oldest.
And the oldest.
Oh my goodness, it's cold.
I mean, it's only gonna get colder, dear, so we better hurry up and get to the top of this lighthouse.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Wrong season.
Oh. "219 stairs, here we go. 150 years ago, this tower was constructed to serve as an aid to navigation." Cool. Here we go. I guess this is where it starts. We started. "24 calories we just burned."
So then between 1871 and 1874, a new tower was built. Then in 1874, all the way to 1885, it was lit with lard oil.
First view of the ocean.
Then in 1885 to 1936, they used kerosene to light the lighthouse.
Wait, what did they use at the beginning?
Lard oil. So then in 1936 is when they converted it to electricity, which would have been right before World War II. Then in 1956, it was automated so that no keepers were on site.
Okay, we're almost halfway. 128 to go, 91st step, 165 feet high.
And then in 2002, it became museum owned. That's kind of scary. In August 31st, 1886, there was an earthquake that shook the tower for 40 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
That would be scary.
That would be scary.
We're almost there. So, I wonder what was in the center of this.
$100,000 cost of construction. This is 153rd step, only 66 to go. We got this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We did it. We made it. I don't love this. Oh gosh. Oh wow. Oh, this is scary.
Stay on this side, it's not as windy.
Okay. Oh my word, we made it.
Here, let's come around this way.
I'm like, guys, we made it. Oh my
Are you scared, Hillary?
I'm scared of heights.
You can see all the way over there, all the way down.
I'm like, oh my gosh, we're on top of the lighthouse. Kind of scary.
You got this.
It looks good, guys. It's worth it.
Oh, it's windy.
It's so windy. Oh, are we walking around?
Down here.
I mean, you can see the horizon. Wow. You can see downtown over there. Woo! But
Oh my
if you're nervous,
gosh.
go back.
I'm going back. I'm going back.
Okay, it's a really tall rail.
I don't think I knew what I was signing up for.
Wow. So that's, the glass up there is 9 by 6. It's 150 years old.
The ocean gets closer every year. The original, how did we say that? Coconina Lighthouse was about to fall into the sea. St. Augustine was going to need a new lighthouse. It's the city's first and oldest surviving brick structure.
Oh, I see. So it was originally built out of the same stone as the fort. And then they came back and built it out of these bricks,
Yeah.
which you can see.
It took 3 years to build and was illuminated for the first time on the night of October 15th, 1874.
So on each of the platforms, there's this ring. And inside there used to be a shaft that ran all the way to the top. And there was a counterweight connected to that. And so what they do is pull the counterweight up, and then that would cause the shaft to rotate, which is what would spin the light before there was electricity. Now it's just a little half-horse motor that they have in there that turns that big giant piece of glass. Is 9 foot tall and 6 foot tall, 9 feet around, and is 150 years old.
Okay, the pain is getting worse. I know I'm complaining and I apologize right now. My legs are on fire. I am so out of shape. This was such a wake-up call for me. But if you're gonna come here and do the lighthouse, it's $17 a person. It's worth it. 219 steps. And bring your passport book. They have a stamp.
That's right.
But
We got a sticker though.
we got a sticker. And we got some snacks, we got some cookies. And now we're gonna see you guys over at, what state park is it? Is it St. Augustine State Park?
No, it's Anastasia Island
State Park.
State Park Campground. Don't quote
Yeah.
me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that
But it's on Anastasia Island. That's what I know. That's where we're at right now.
So we have good news and bad news. The good news is Bob prepped dinner this morning. So he is making egg salad sandwiches. The bad news is you know how we said we were gonna go to Anastasia State Park and stay the night tonight? Yeah, well that's not happening. I thought I booked a reservation for tonight. We pulled up, the guy couldn't find her name, and I started worrying. And I checked my email, checked everywhere. Nope, I remember getting to the very last screen and seeing that it was gonna be like $49 after all the fees and taxes and stuff. I must have not hit like complete, finish, done. So we do not have a reservation at Anastasia State Park, and they didn't have any RV sites available for tonight. So we're doing the next best thing. We're at Crescent Beach. We're gonna have dinner on the beach and watch the sunset. The thing is, this kind of stuff's gonna happen. And it's about making lemons out of lemonade. No,
That's right.
lemonade out of lemons.
This is definitely our lemon moment for this video.
No, you just kind of have to go with the flow.
Yeah, we're gonna eat some chip crumbs from a couple of different bags, and
We're really having lunch for dinner is what we're having.
it's what you do sometimes. You just make it work.
And we're gonna give you guys a hint to where we're going next when we're on the beach. No, that's plenty of chips. This is what I feel like when I think about Florida, this is it. Oh my gosh, whose idea was it?
You, yours.
This is where we're saying bye. We're in.
Enjoying our egg salad sandwiches. Recipes coming in the cookbook.
That's all we have. It's windy. You barely can hear us. Tell them, give them a hint of what we're doing next.
So up next, we might be going from van life-ish to maybe boat life-ish. Stay tuned.
We think so. But that's all we got. We're not done with Florida though. We're not done with
We're
Florida.
not done yet.
Almost. Almost. All right.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.